Joe Jeanette, General and Robotic Surgery and Bariatric Surgery. I chose to go into healthcare kind of at a very early age. I had a lot of interest in science and math growing up, and that's kind of what first attracted me to the healthcare scene. Just kind of through some of the classes and lessons that I learned kind of growing up, it attracted me to dig a little deeper. Even in college, I wanted to go into internal medicine, and then with a lot of more exposure with doing some rounding at the hospital with some of the physicians, and especially with, it was the transplant team, more core surgery type of influence, where I saw it more as these guys are treating the patients not only medically but surgically, and I could be the most, in my opinion, you know, that said, well, boy, these guys seem like they can sort of do it all, where they're managing a lot of really critical care type patients as well as doing their operations in, you know, a time of dire need. So that was my sort of focus, is you could do a lot more even anywhere you go as far as surgically and medically. So I was in the military for several years, deployed to Afghanistan twice, and we had basically 2 different experiences with my deployments, and those were some of the most rewarding experiences of my life and career, really. We had a lot of different aspects of medicine we'd had to deal with, very unique to anywhere you'd ever practice, because we were put, with my first deployment, we were put in a very austere environment, and we're kind of moving along the battlefield with some of the special forces. So we had to really employ a lot of techniques. We were living in tents, working in tents, and you know, our tents were a series of the trauma bay, the operating room, and then the recovery. And the recovery room was a makeshift ICU that sometimes we were, the only way to get in and get out of this base was to helicopter in, and weather permitting, sometimes we had to keep these critical care patients in our facility for a longer period of time, and just had to kind of wing it sometimes, and they did well with it, but it was a challenging but rewarding experience in the same right. My hobbies and interests are, my wife would probably tell everybody, is sports, sports, sports. I just, since I was a kid, love about every sport. From, you know, I've always been involved in some type of organizational sports growing up, and from football, soccer, wrestling, wrestled in college, baseball, everything as far as that goes. And travel. We love to travel and do a lot of outdoor activities.